Hi guys, it's Loey. So today I have a really fun video that I've been trying to plan out for a little while. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for this sort of video, but I decided I wanted to do kind of a first impressions get ready with me featuring some new Stila products. So I recently got my hands on some Stila goodies. I bought a couple of the palettes. I got the In the Light, in the Moment, and the In the Know palettes, and I was also sent some things from PR, and I thought that this was a good way to give you kind of my honest opinions on all of it. So if you want to see, number one, how I achieved this look, and number two, my thoughts on some new Stila goodies, then just stay tuned. So for the most part, my brows are actually done, but I have this little brow pen from Stila. It is the Stay All Day Waterproof Brow Color. This is in the color medium. How I've personally learned that I like to use this is I will go ahead and I will fill in my brows with my Anastasia Dip Brow in Blonde, which I've already done. Then I will take this pen, and wherever I have really sparse areas, I'm actually going to zoom you guys in, and I will really lightly kind of draw in the hairs. I don't need a ton of this, just enough to fake, again, those areas where maybe it's a little bit sparser. As you can probably tell, it's an extremely subtle difference. I think that if you had naturally really nice brows and just a couple of sparse spots, this would be a great brow pen for you because it is so natural looking. It's really easy to draw in brow hairs one by one and fill in any gaps. And I'm just a very big fan of how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and set off my brows with some brow gel. So now let's get into eyeshadow. I went ahead and I primed my eyes with, I think, my Lorac Pro primer, I don't know. And now I'm going to be using the Stila In the Light palette. I currently own In the Light, In the Know, as well as In the Moment, but In the Light is the one I want to use today. I have not even delved into this. And I think I want to do something warm and a little bit deeper for fall. So let's start off, okay, what am I even talking about? We're starting off with Kitten because I've never used this eyeshadow before. This is my initial reaction. I have extremely high hopes. This is a very hyped eyeshadow. Okay, so I'm using a Sedona Lace 941 brush. Let's just pack that. Oh my god, do you see this? It's like I'm using it wet or something. The pigmentation is bananas. I'm sure 99% of you have used this before and you are rolling your eyes at me. It's fine. Now I'll go into the color Sunset, which is kind of a warmer brown on the same brush, and this will go into the outer corner. Now that I have those sort of on the lid, I'm going to go ahead and do, let's say, Bliss in the crease, which is just a matte kind of best friend blending color. This is a Sedona Lace 863 blush brush. Any fluffy brush will do. Now, I have a meeting today, so I don't want to go too overboard and start going into the black or the, really dark shades, but let's take a bit of this brown called Sandstone. It seems to be matte. There's a little bit of shimmer, but I think that was actually from Kitten just kind of kicking up things. So I'm going to take a teensy tiny Essence of Beauty pencil brush and put this into the outer corner. They're extremely user-friendly shadows. I think that that's the best thing to describe them. They're soft without being overly soft. They're pigmented without being that crazy kind of pigmented where nothing is blendable. They are extremely easy to work with and blend. This darker color is just building up so beautifully, but it wasn't so dark that when I put it down it was like, oh my god, it's basically black. I'm kind of giddy. These are really nice. I had to fiddle around with my camera, so I apologize if anything is off. I'm taking a Q-tip and just really lightly running this along my waterline before I put any kind of shadow down here. Using another small Essence of Beauty pencil brush. This one is considerably smaller than the first one that I used though. I'm going to take Sunset again on this, and I'm going to blend this on the lower lash line. Taking Sandstone one more time as well, that matte brown, and I'm going to smudge this on the very outer corner. On the very inner corner, using a Real Techniques detail brush, I'm going to take Kitten one more time, pop that right in here. So now I'm going to use the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. This is in the color Intense Black. And I'm going to draw a line on the upper lash line with this. Now I'm going to use the smudge stick that came with this palette, and I have actually used this previously. I got really excited and had to whip it out. This is in the color Damsel, which is a really deep dark brown. We've spent a whole lot of time on the eyes, so let's kind of divert our attention to other things. Clearly I've already done contouring and bronzing today. And I'm going to try this custom color blush. As you can see, it's been swatched. I think it's extremely interesting. This is in the color Self-Adjusting Coral. Now, if you can look in the pan, I think that this comes off as much more of a peachy coral as opposed to something really, really orange, which is going to be nice because I'm obviously looking for something a little bit more fall appropriate and not quite so summery. Oops. I am heavy-handed with blush. I'm so happy I didn't try to just put that on the cheeks. That is pigmented. So... okay, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight, and I don't have a Stila highlighter, so I'm just going to use my MAC Mineralize Skinfinish and Lightscapade. Y'all know it is my freaking jam. Playing with new makeup makes me happy, especially when it's a brand I'm so new to. I just realized I totally forgot to highlight the brow bone, so I'm going to take the color Bare, which is just a nice matte light shade. I love when, like, palettes have that matte highlight. I think that's so crucial. I think that this palette kind of goes across the board in the sense that it has that matte crease color and the matte highlight, just making me happy. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set off my makeup using my Urban Decay makeup setting spray. I'm then going to do a little bit of mascara off camera just using Too Faced Better Than Sex. I do not own a Stila mascara, so I will do that off camera, then we will come back and finish off. So for lips, I'm kind of in between two things. The first one being the Color Balm lipstick in the shade Olivia, which is the most beautiful, perfect nude. I also have the liquid color lipstick in the shade Bellissima. It is the most beautiful, pale, peachy color. But since this is a little bit more of a daytime look, I think I'm actually going to stick with the Color Balm lipstick in the shade Olivia. Now, as you can see, that's just a really beautiful nude to kind of finish things off, and we are done. So this is the completed look, and as promised, I'm going to talk a little bit about each of the products and tell you a little bit about what I think about them. So it's sort of a first impressions review all in one. The first thing that I used that was from Stila was the In the Light palette. This is raved about. This is nothing new. You probably already own this or have seen it in someone else's YouTube videos. I had heard so much about it. I've eyeballed it for ages. I wound up getting it on sale at Ulta when they were doing the 20% off clearance event. So I thought that for 20% off, heck freaking yes, you get these 10 shadows and they lean more on the warmer side of neutrals. You have some really great smoky colors. You have some fantastic wearable options for daytime. A couple more darker, kind of goldeny brown shades down here. I think that for a fall neutral palette, this is fantastic, or just for a neutral palette in general. I really, really like the look that I came up with, and it took very minimal effort. What I said about these was that they were extremely user-friendly. They're not too pigmented. They're very easy to blend, but they are pigmented, and they are workable to the point where you're going to get a dramatic look if you want a dramatic look, but if you want something a little bit maybe less, like I did today, I really went in lightly with this dark brown into the outer corner. It was easy to get it in a more sheer application, but I could have built it up with like one more dip of the brush. So very user-friendly. I think anyone could benefit from these, from beginner to expert with makeup. The smudge stick in the color Damsel was what I used in the waterline and to tightline. This is a waterproof eyeliner pencil, and what I love about it is super pigmented, so I used this in my waterline and on the tightline, obviously, to add a little bit more depth to the look, but I went in kind of lightly, and I just did one or two passes on each, and it's not, again, so dark that it's too much for daytime, but if I had gone over it one more time, it would have been really, really intense. These really do stay put. I have worn, again, this shade one other time, and I thought that it stayed put beautifully. No eyeliner in my inner corners. It really doesn't wear off, and if it does, it's so gradual and faint I don't even notice. So very big fan of these as well, at least the colors that I have tried. And yeah, that kind of came in this one little palette. So the waterproof brow pen, if you can see, is a felt tip marker. And I'm trying to get a good swatch, but if you can tell, it's almost a soft, sheer taupe color. And you can do very, very, very light flicks to create individual brow hairs basically where you don't have any, and it looks like it's real. For someone like me who likes a more dramatic brow, I like mine to be a little bit thicker and just, you know, a little bit more intense. I would suggest combining it, maybe this pen with your traditional brow products, just filling in the sparse areas because it looks so natural and it's very, very easy and fast. If you were someone with very minimal brow concerns, I guess, this would be amazing. Or if you have no brow hair at all, this will create the most natural brows of life. The next product is not new to me by any means. It is so pigmented and so easy to work with. If you're really bad at liquid eyeliner, this pen will make you good at it. Just so insanely pigmented, so easy to work with. It hugs right against the lash line and just one quick swipe is all you need. It's easy to do a cat eye with as well. So then I used this blush. This is the custom color blush in the shade Self-Adjusting Coral. I knew that. So this is a beautiful peachy pink. I will say this was a lot more pigmented than I had realized going into it with that brush, and maybe I could have had a lighter hand, but I like the look that I got. So it says Self-Adjusting Coral, which I'm assuming means it's going to look a little bit different on everyone. It probably has some sort of pigment to it that is going to make it self-adjust to your skin tone and give you your perfect flush. I love the color. I love the actual formula. Very, very smooth and easy to work with. And I think it looks beautiful on me. I don't even think I really needed that highlight. Really, really like that. We'll definitely be picking up more shades of it. And something I didn't even know Stila carried. The last product is the Color Balm lipstick. Again, I don't know why I'm forgetting all the names. In Olivia. I am obviously wearing this. Olivia is a fantastic, fantastic peachy nude. And this is kind of my go-to lip color, which I thought was very interesting when I received my package of Stila items, that it was kind of my go-to signature nude, and I was just like, this is perfect. It feels really, really hydrating on the lips. The reason I didn't go with the matte lipstick, which I'm actually going to talk about this before I go, is because my lips are really chapped right now, and at the end of the day, this is a matte lipstick. It's going to kind of highlight that and accentuate it. This feels so beautiful, kind of masks any imperfections I currently have on my lips. But I think that the pigmentation and just feel of this bad boy is amazing, and I really, really like it so far. You know me, and you know I don't like the NYX Soft Matte lip creams, whatever they are. I don't like lip creams. I don't like liquid lipsticks. The formula is too tricky for me. I've never liked them. This is life-changing. I also have it in a red, which is in my purse in the kitchen. But this one in Bellissima is the most beautiful pastel peach nude. Cannot get enough of this freaking color. The formula on them is so nice too, and it doesn't feel drying, it doesn't feel cakey, but it stays put. I wore the red one out to dinner one night, and I was eating at Olive Garden, going crazy on the salad, and you know, like, their salad has the oil kind of dressing, and it didn't break the product down at all. So that was kind of my get ready with me / first impression on some Stila products. Very, very new to this brand. I love everything I've tried, so don't be too surprised if you see a lot of new Stila goodies in upcoming videos. So if you enjoyed kind of the format of this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and I will start doing this with more brands. Let me know any Stila products that you have tried and loved in the past in the comments down below. I love you so, so much, and until the next video, I will see you very soon. Bye!